Hello, everybody. I'm Brent Wagner, and welcome to Pastime. We are in Commerce, Georgia at Atlanta Dragway, and I got a couple $1,000s I want to give away. You ready to play the game? Let's meet our contestants. Mike Koski, Atlanta, GA.
That's right.
How you doing, Mike?
Good, great.
Now, you're no stranger to our show.
No, I am not.
I believe when we had our show in Montgomery, Alabama, you actually were a race car driver for us.
That is correct.
How'd you do that night?
I did pretty good.
Sounds good, buddy. Scott Andrew, Carnesville, Georgia.
Yes.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing great.
Thanks for coming out. Now, you specifically told me in the email that you came here to choke out Ken Herring.
Exactly.
And Taser Brett.
And, of course, my partner,
What's up, man?
my buddy, my friend, Ken Herring, Tyler, Texas chassis work. We've had some tremendous cars down here.
Sure have.
And, of course, I want to send our special thanks to Paige, our car wrangler. She's got the tough job out there bringing up these psychopath drivers we get on our show. Scott and Mike, you've seen the show before, so not only are you playing against each other, but you're playing against the man.
All right.
You ready to do it?
I'm ready.
Let's meet our first driver. Little Camaro action. 84. Wow. Listen to that.
Sounds good.
Sounds real good. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for opening the show for us.
Thanks for having me.
What's your name?
Mickey Cleveland.
That sounds like a race car driver's name.
Been doing it a long time.
How long, Mickey?
67, 68,
Boy, that was when I was born, Mickey. Tell me about your car.
86 Camaro, Big Block Powerglide, 468.
Mike.
Got a parachute on the back?
No laundry.
Scott.
Nitrous.
No,
And Ken Herring.
The back half car.
built it in the backyard.
All right,
The
cool.
back half car built in the backyard.
Sweet.
Hey, thanks for coming out, buddy. Have a good pass for us. Mike, tell me a little bit about yourself.
My name is Mike Koski from Atlanta, Georgia. Got a great wife and 2 kids, and all about drag racing.
Yeah. What kind of car you rolling in?
66 Buick Skylark.
Is that what you had when you were on Pastime?
It is.
Well, we appreciate you coming out. Look at that, getting a little double dipping.
Oh, yeah.
Is this your favorite show?
You know it.
Better be, because
It
Scott
is.
will choke you out if
Exactly.
it's not. Sorry, Scott, I keep using you there,
do.
but might as well do it. Ken Herring is locked in. Scott is locked in, just waiting on Big Mike. All right, let's take a look at those times. It's Ken with a 10:15, Scott with a 10:20, and Mike saying that thing's going to do a 9:63.
Look at you go, Scott.
Burnouts never lie. Nice looking paint job. Here we go. First pass of the night. Good way to start the show. $100 pass.
Ooh, shut it off.
A 10:09. Let me take a look. Oh, I know who that's going to be. That's going to be
Ooh, look at that, me.
All the way
the
down.
master of disaster, Tyler, Texas's own Ken
He let
Herring.
off. He let off.
Mike sitting on 0, Scott sitting on 0, and Ken Herring sitting on $100. Let's bring up our next driver. Is that a Monza?
Vega.
A Vega?
Good looking Vega, actually.
How are you, sir?
Alrighty.
What's your name?
Tommy Moats.
Tommy. Good looking Vega.
Thank you.
Tell me about it.
355 small block, power glide, 514 gear,
What year is it?
76.
All right. That's when I was born.
That's good.
I'm lying. Mike, first question.
All right. Horsepower at the crank, do you know?
Probably about 450.
450.
Big Scott.
How much it weigh?
With me in it, 3,020 pounds.
You ain't fibbing a little there, are you?
No, it's heavy.
Ken Herring.
You normally run quarter mile?
8 mile.
Have you ever run quarter mile?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
You got enough gear to get down there?
Yeah, to get there.
All right, cool.
You ready to make a pass?
Yes, sir.
Give me a little pound. Thanks, buddy. Here we go.
Thanks for the extra question there, buddy.
Hey, I'm sorry about that.
Where you learned that from?
I learned that from you.
Got
Scott.
enough gear.
Tell me about yourself, Scott.
I live about 15 minutes up the road, work for the Georgia State Patrol, do a lot of security here at Atlanta Dragway.
Do you wear a top hat when you're working? You wear
I do. I wear we call it the big hat.
the big hat. I call it the scary hat. I'll just call it a nice hat. All right, Mike is locked in. $100 pass here. Ooh, that Vegas sounds nice. Scott is locked in. Ken Herring is locked in. Let's take a look at those times. Ken Herring with a 10:25. Big hat. I mean, Scott with the 10:20. And Mike with
I'm
the
going to stay in that
10:71.
range.
Woo! Here we go. Vega. Atlanta Dragway. Here we go, folks. $100 pass. Yeah, he's on the pass.
Oh, look at that.
1034. 1030. Big Kid Harry. Give me a little pound there, big man.
That's the closest I've been all night. For real.
Just be careful. Don't get too close to Scott when he's winning.
Yeah.
Mike's sitting on 0. Scott's sitting on 0. And Ken Harry's sitting on $200. Just bring up our next driver. Got a little pink on this car. How you doing, man?
Good.
What's your name?
PJ.
PJ, tell me about your ride.
71 Camaro, 555 with a glide.
Mike, first question.
Nitrous.
You spraying?
No.
Scott.
How many times you raced here?
Many years.
Ken Herring.
What tires are on the back?
1432s.
All right, let's go.
You ready to make a pass?
Yeah.
Want to say hello to anybody?
Everybody I know around here.
Everybody who knows, give a good pass here. I should do this too. I just want to say hello to everybody around here. In case you see me passed out in an alley or a street, don't kick me. All right, last of our $100 passes. Ken Herring is locked in, Scott is locked in, and Mike is locked in. Let's take a look. Ken Herring with a 980, Scott with a 930, and Mike with a 1053. Ken, Scott will not let you go.
No, you know, he's right on me.
That's just crack law enforcement right there. That might be our craziest burnout on pastime. Woo! Yeah, I might need some new shorts.
Yeah, be cleaning his seat after that one.
Here we go. Last of our $100 passes, only on speed. Oh, yeah.
All right, things rolling.
He's on a pass.
Oh,
22.
look at Scott.
Mr. Big Head, big man. Look at you. Give me a little pound. Dang, man. Mike sitting on 0. Scott sitting on 100. And Ken Herring sitting on $200. Folks, don't go anywhere. Atlanta Dragway, we're having a good time. It's pastime. Stick around. All right, folks, welcome back to pastime. We're getting into round number 2. That means the jack is going up. Let's meet our next driver. One fog light Camaro.
Yeah, got a lady driver.
What's your name?
Kim Ellington.
Kim, how you doing? Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
Tell me about your Camaro.
It's a 1981 Camaro Z28, 400 small block, turbo 350 transmission.
Mike, what kind of gear is he running, Kim?
373.
373.
Scott?
Do you race here like bracket racing?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And Ken Herring.
It's got a power glide in it?
No, it's turbo 350.
Okay.
You ready to make a pass?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Give me a little pound. All right, here we go. First of our $200 passes. Scott making some weird faces up there.
Yeah, thinking.
Thinking.
Not thinking.
That's all right. Mr. Mike is locked in. Mr. Scott is locked in. Just waiting on the mayor of Tyler, Texas. Ken Herring is locked in. Let's take a look at those times. Ken Herring with the 12:10. Scott with a 12:10 and Mike with an 11:97. So what we do when we get a tie like that, Scott, is once the pass is over, we see who locked in first.
Pretty sure that was you.
Now we wouldn't find any law enforcement in Georgia looking over someone's shoulder now, would we?
I was first.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
First of our $200 passes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, lay down. That's going to
A
be you.
12:16. Well, we got to see who locked in first.
Money.
Hold on, I'm going to close my eyes.
Scott did.
Big Scott. Congratulations, big man. Give me a little pound. Bam! Mike sitting on 0. Scott sitting on $300. And Ken Herring sitting on $200. Let's bring up our next driver. Okay, Scott and Mike. Mike, I know you've been on the show, so you know what's going on. This is our combo round. This is when I bring up two cars.
Yeah.
And you got to give me one combined time. Mike, you halfway decent at math?
I still got all my fingers.
All right, let's bring up our drivers. We got twins here.
Family reunion now.
It is a family reunion.
The old Wagner guys, you were that prettier back then.
That's easy for you to say. So, Mr. Wagner, what's your first name again?
Steve.
Tell me about your car.
97 Neon. It's got 2.4 turbo in it. Custom boosted folds turbo kit.
All right, Steve, what's your name?
Nick.
Nick, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. How
Tell me
you?
about your car.
It's a 04 Dodge Neon SRT4.
Okay, Mike, Nick, or Steve?
Nick, any modifications to your engine?
Just has an upgraded wastegate, so it's pushing a little more boost, but other than that, it's pretty stock.
Scott.
Yeah.
Nick or Steve?
Steve, any modifications to your engine?
Forged pistons, low compression pistons, 3-inch exhaust, custom intake manifold.
Gotcha.
And Ken Herring, Nick or Steve?
Nick. How much boost is it?
That spikes around 21 and falls to 16.
Okay, cool.
You ready to make a pass?
I'm born ready.
My cousin ready to make a pass?
Yep.
All right, gentlemen, let's do this. Here we go. Combo round, $200 pass. Mike is already locked in. Mike, I don't need to tell you, but you know you need this pass. Ken Herring is locked in.
Saving it for the big money.
There you go.
And the man they call Scott is locked in. Let's take a look at those times. Mr. Herring with the 25.90, Mr. Scott with the 28.20, and Mike with the 27.93, all across the board. Wow. These things might be a little quicker than we thought.
Maybe. I hope so. I got the fastest time.
Here we go, combo round. $200. Well, one of them wanted to go.
That SRT's fast. The other one's... Oop, not me.
A 28.40. Look at you, Scott.
Look at
Bam!
him. Look at him.
Cash is good. You got that internal radar going on, don't you? Mike sitting on zero.
Look at you.
Scott with the big grin sitting on 500. And Ken Herring sitting on $200. Mike, it was a little easier being in the driver's seat.
It was much easier.
All right, let's bring up our next driver. Barracuda there, Ken?
Dart.
Dart. What's your name?
Michael Goodwin.
Folks, I want to let you see something. See right there at that ponytail? Aerodynamic. Absolutely. Tell me about your ride.
It's a 1973 Dodge Dart with a small block Chrysler in it, 416 cubic inch stroker motor.
All right, Big Mike.
What kind of transmission?
It's got a Liberty 4-speed in it.
Sweet.
Wow. Scott.
What's the weight?
2840 with me in it.
Gotcha.
And Ken Herring.
What cylinder head's on it?
It's got W5s.
Okay.
You ready to make a pass?
I am.
Bam, here we go. Last of our $200 passes.
Got a Liberty in it. Gotta like that.
Tell me about that Liberty, Ken.
It's a clutch car. Liberty 4-speed. I have a handle. Bang, bang, bang.
You got you. Kind of like what I remember as a kid, a Rock Crusher 4-speed.
No, it's not the same thing.
Nothing. Okay, all right. I just
Not
throw it
even the
out.
same ballpark.
Ken Herring is locked in. Mike is locked in. Scott is locked in. Let's look at those times. Ken Herring with a 980. Scott with a 1020. And Mike says it's not going to do that well. 1115. Yeah. You go, Dodge Dart. Here we go. Look at that Liberty go.
Way off base.
A 1023. I'm handing it over, Scott. Look at it. Get that green. Hand it over, son. Bam.
Unbelievable.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ken Herring sitting on $200. The man with the big hat sitting on 700, and Mike sitting on zero. We still got a lot more passes. Folks, it's pass time. We're getting into round number 3. Get yourself a sandwich. Get yourself a tasty beverage, but make sure you come back or Scott's going to choke you up. All right, folks, welcome back to Pastime. We're getting into round number 3. So far, Big Scott is running away with the show, but we got a lot more rounds. Mike and Ken, you ready to go?
Ready?
Uh-oh.
Thunderbird?
A little T-Bird action?
I think so.
What's your name?
Mike Puckett.
Mike, is that a T-Bird?
That's a T-Bird.
Tell me about that
It's a
T-Bird.
1990 Super Coupe. It's got a supercharged 3.8-liter V6 and 5-speed transmission.
Mike?
How much horsepower do you think it's making?
It had 315 in the last dyno tune.
Wow.
That's at the wheels?
That's at the wheels.
Big Scott.
What's the weight of the car with the driver?
Just a little under 3,500 pounds.
Don't lie, because that man will give you a ticket. Ken Herring.
What tires on the back of that?
Mickey Thompson ET Streets.
All right, thanks.
You ready to make a
ready to go.
supercharged V6 T-Bird run for us?
V6 run, yeah.
Give me pound. Here we go. All right, gentlemen, first of our $300 passes. Mike is locked in, Scott is locked in, Ken Herring is locked in. I don't need to tell you Mike or Ken. You need to get this. Let's take a look at those times. Ken Herring with a 13:20, Scott with a 14:10, and Mike says a 13:63.
Mike, you're still good if you get this one.
Yep.
I need it.
Hey, tell him to slip his helmet on. Just do this.
There we go. Look at that. You see that, cameraman? I saved a life. I saved a life. Changing lives on pastime. Here we go. First of our $300 passes.
Ooh, that thing's nasty.
Slow down just a little. Just a little. Slow down.
The 1331.
It's me.
It is.
It's me. Needed that.
Bam!
Scott's killing us up here.
Woo! Scott, the reign of terror might be over. I'm losing my voice, but I'm having a good time. Mike sitting on 0, Scott sitting on 700, and Ken Herring sitting on 500. Mike, let me just tell you, you get the next two, you win the whole shebang. But you gotta do it.
But I got to do it.
All right, let's bring up our next driver. How are you, sir?
Fine.
Thanks for coming out. Let go of my hand. All right. What's your name?
Scott Hubbard.
Scott, tell me about your ride.
It's a 93 notch, big block Ford, all power options. Power windows and door locks still work.
All right, sounds good. Mike,
What's it making?
600 maybe.
a lot of power options. Scott,
Nitrous.
Small, maybe 150.
little tiny shot. Ken Herring,
What tires on the back?
28 10.5Ws.
All right.
you want to smile for the camera at all?
Yep.
Thanks, buddy. Give me a little pound. There we go. All factory options. Power windows, 600 horse. I'd like to get some of them factory options. Sounded like Clinton right there. I'm giving my voice for this show. Love doing the show. You guys having a good time, though?
Much better if I was winning.
Anything's possible, Mike.
I hear you.
Scott is locked in. Mike is locked in. Ken Herring is locked in. Let's take a look. Last of our $300 passes. Bam! Ken Herring with a 965. Scott with a 10 flat, and Mike with a 987.
Oh, that's close right there.
Yep.
Yeah, look at that. Smoking out the cameraman.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does sound good.
There we go, folks.
Thing's rolling. Oh my God.
An 877.
I'll take that. I didn't see that coming.
Who's your daddy? Ken Herring.
Me
your
right
daddy
now.
right there. Bam! Mike sitting on 0. Scott sitting on 700. And the man who's coming back, Big Daddy Ken Herring sitting on 800. Folks, I'm losing my voice, so you gotta come back to see who wins it in the end. It's pastime. Say hello to our sponsors. All right, folks, it's pastime. The last round, the last path. Let's do a little math. Mike, you've been on the show before. You know what happens when you get into the final round and you got 0.
I'm richer just for being here.
Absolutely.
Good answer.
Scott, you got $700. If you win this pass, you get to stay a trooper out here and you get to go home with some dignity.
Right.
Ken Herring, if you
Need
win
this.
this pass, we got to run quick because Scott's going to be mad. But Scott and Mike, you guys had a good time?
Oh, I had a great time.
All right, gentlemen, let's bring up our last driver of the night. We always save something special for last. Is your name Hank?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Hank? You know how I knew that?
No.
Right there, buddy. Yeah. I'm tired, too. Tell me about your ride.
It's a dragster.
Yeah?
This is going to be easy.
Got a 350 Power Glide. It's black.
Mike?
Do you know how much horsepower it's making?
Probably around 500.
Scott?
First time you drove it, Hank?
First time.
Is it really?
Sure is.
Okay, because you don't want to lie to him.
He's my buddy.
Oh, he's your And Ken Herring.
Typical cop getting set up. Got his buddy driving the car. Wow. What carburetor's on it?
750.
All right, perfect.
All right, buddy, you ready to make a pass?
Yeah.
All right, man, last pass of the night. Thanks for staying around. Boy, Hank was just full of warm feelings. Well, what a night it's been. Mike is locked in. You can throw a wrench in this works, Mikey, you know, if you win.
Was trying to save face now.
Scott is locked in, and Ken Herring.
Scott, you know what this car runs?
I have no idea.
Perfect answer.
Everybody's locked in. Let's take a look at those times. Ken Herring with an 8:55, Scott with an 8:80, and Mike with a 9:67.
Come on, Hank.
Who's got that fast time?
Me, but that doesn't mean anything. That's just a burnout.
Mike, if you win this,
I'll still lose.
you'll still lose. Hey, folks, you want to be a contestant on Pastime? SpeedTV.com. I need you on the show. Here we go. $500 makes someone $2 grand.
Don't lift.
Go!
Lift it. That's good enough. Stay off the gas. Perfect.
The 1084. Big Mike! Congratulations for about 2
Come on,
seconds.
just let me hold it for a little
Now,
bit.
ladies and gentlemen, that means you know the eventual winner, Scott. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mike, but you got to hand over the cabbage
I hear you.
to Mr. Ken Herring.
I'm going to give you part of it, and I'm going to give the rest of it to him.
Folks, it's past time. Name the time, win the cash. It's that easy. From Commerce, Georgia and Atlanta Dragway, I'm Brett Wagner for Paige and Ken Herring. We love you. We'll see you next time.
I thought that was your friend.
Yeah,
He's
really.
my friend now.
He's not your buddy. He used to be my friend.